Hello everybody, Smoky Smokes here, back at it again with another tobacco review. This is going to be on Captain Black Grape. This is a flavor a good friend of mine sent me a couple of years ago, or a year ago, something like that. Can't remember. It's been a while since I've really been smoking pipe tobacco, but I'm back at it to do reviews just for you. Out here late at night, it's just about 11 p.m. or so. A nice cool summer evening. It is August 2nd as I'm recording this. I'm going to be packing this Dr. Grabo, or Grubbo, however you say that, freehand style pipe, and it's not legit freehand. I love freehand pipes, so those are more expensive. This is like a poor man's freehand. You get it for like $30 or so. Even at Walgreens, sometimes I've seen these pipes at Walgreens, believe it or not, a pipe at Walgreens. Yeah, they're there. Like how it accepts filters. I almost can't smoke tobacco out of pipes that don't have filters in them anymore. It's just, I don't know what it is. Even after I clean my pipes, they build up with all this fluid, this tobacco juice. It just gets gross. Filters almost completely annihilate that issue. And then also calabash pipes. I'm thinking about maybe collecting more calabash pipes in the future because they have a really long stem. And the smoke just happens to be really dry without using filters. Just hoping I don't get bombarded by sprinklers anytime soon. There were sprinklers on, but I'm wondering if another one somewhere is going to turn on. I've had this before. Strong, almost sour, fruity like flavor I'm getting on this, that immediately anyway. It kind of tastes like grape. I'm surprised, like Jolly Rancher grape. A lot more subtle, and it's not as sweet as candy, obviously, but it's good. It has like a grape fruity flavor. It doesn't taste great, but doesn't taste super cheap either. It's somewhere in between. I am a fan of Captain Black. They're not my go-to tobacconist, I guess you'd call them, but I like them. Captain Black is very widely available. Tongue bite isn't too bad on this one. It smokes relatively hot, but it's not really hot. There's some tobaccos that just get unimaginably hot. It's alright. It's pretty good. It has a mild grape flavor to it. Let's get a room note on this one. It smells good. It smells like a good sweet tobacco. It's just like a fruity hint, but it's very subtle, and it might just be psychological. It might just be thinking, oh, it's called Captain Black Grape. It must taste like grapes then. Maybe. It's pleasant. It's mild. I think anyone who likes tobacco in general wouldn't mind this. Anyone would at least like it a little bit. Mild fruit flavor to the tobacco. It's not like those cherry cheap tobacco. They really have that strong like fake cherry flavor to it. No, it's a lot more mild than that. It's an undertone. Root note's really nice. I like it. I wouldn't go out of my way to smoke this one all the time. I have way too many tobaccos for me to want to pick this one usually, but I like it. It is worth the try. I like everything from Captain Black that I've tried so far. I've been a fan of. My first ever pipe tobacco I ever smoked was Captain Black Royal. And I think that's still one of my favorites, despite being slightly cheaper tasting than most of the others. That's a great tobacco. It almost has like a chocolatey hint to it. I remember smoking that a long time ago. Fond memories. It was like a few weeks after I turned 18. I was like, I want a pipe and I want pipe tobacco, and I bought them. So far, not too much of a change, which is good. I mean, I've only been smoking for 5 minutes or so. It shouldn't change too much in that much time. Captain Black's very widely available, which is one of their biggest advantages, and they don't taste super cheap either, like I said. Some cheaper companies are cheap cigarillo companies that they taste cheap when you taste them. They're really cheap tobacco, and they cover it up with some sort of syrup to make it taste better, and it does taste okay for a bit, but as soon as that syrup burns off, you're left with a sooty, gross, ashy, disgusting, you know. Captain Black, for me, is sort of a middle ground. It's not like super cheap tasting, it's not really expensive tasting, like I said. I like it. There's not really much else to say about it. It's just an all-around good, mild to medium tasting tobacco, which it's not too hot, it's smoking pretty well. I still haven't relit it yet. I've had it for a few years, probably, too, so it's been in my big old mason jar for a long time. Again, I think it'll float everybody's boat. It's not so fruity that the people who don't like fruity tobaccos will despise it, but it's not fruity so the people who don't like non-fruity tobaccos will dislike it either. If I worded that correctly. Really pleasant night. Here in Colorado, once the sun goes down, the temperature goes down by a solid 20 degrees Fahrenheit or so. Because it's dry here. And there are more humid areas, it tends to stay. I mean, it's obviously a lot less hot when the sun goes down, but it'll get significantly less hot when the sun goes down. Here in Colorado. In other places, it drops a few degrees from the heat of the sun, but there's still residual warmth everywhere. Probably, I guess it's from the moisture that sort of soaks it all up. Good flavor. I'm puffing on it really fast. You're not supposed to smoke this fast with pipe tobaccos, but I do. That's just what I do. It's starting to change. It's starting to get a little sooty, so let me ash it. I get rid of the little pile of ashes on the top. I think it helps produce a nicer, cleaner taste. Oh yeah, that helped. That definitely helped a little bit. If your tobacco is starting to taste ashy, but you still have a handful of it left, try just dumping out those excess ashes on the top into an ashtray or something. It'll help clean out the flavor. Some people don't agree with that, but to me it's kind of common sense. Because as you are drawing in the smoke, the air is also drawing in the fumes from the ashes, which go into the stem and then go into your mouth. Man, this year, 2021, has just been flying by for me. Weird year so far. Weird. Good, but weird. Good, but weird year. Better than 2020. That's a given, obviously. Much better than that here. But still strange. Very strange here. Okay, now the flavor is starting to taste more ashy. I'm getting closer to the bottom of the bowl here. It's been about 11 minutes so far. And again, I'm puffing on this pretty fast. A lot of people comment, like, well, you're puffing on that thing like a freight train. I know, I can't help myself. I don't know what it is. When I don't have somebody to talk to or to pause, I'm like what I'm doing now. And I talk to this phone right here and pretending it's a person. Those are the times I get to pause and slow down and let the tobacco cool down a little bit. You take a puff or two or three, you set it down again, you listen to whoever's talking to you. When you're done talking, then you take a puff again, sit it down, it's your turn to talk. Maybe they have their pipe and they're smoking in between what you say. It's about reached the end. It's starting to taste sooty, which is this thing with all tobaccos. It's not this one in particular. It held on to its grape flavor for a decent amount of time, I'd say, for like the first 6 or 7 minutes of me puffing on it like crazy. It was pretty consistent. The flavor stayed there, which is surprising to me. But it's now finally gone to meet its maker. You could always pack your bowl again and have some more, but I like to limit how many times smoking pipe tobacco is not good for you. It's not the worst thing ever. It's not as bad as cigarettes, obviously. You're just drawing smoke into your mouth, not into your lungs. That's another thing that's not too bad about it. But overall, it's try to limit how much you do it, obviously, just in case. So I think I'm going to leave you off of that. Again, this is good. I'm pretty sure it's widely available. It is Captain Black, but it's one of their fruit flavors, grape. I've had Captain Black White, I've had Captain Black Royal, and Captain Black Gold. I'm a huge fan of all three of those tobaccos, actually. This one's still pretty good, though. It's sort of like an attempt at having a fruitier tobacco. They did okay. It's not my favorite. It's not bad. If that intrigues you, go ahead and get it, but I would honestly just look at other tobaccos that Captain Black has to offer. Unless you're a huge fan of Captain Black and you happen to like fruity tobaccos, yeah, give it a shot. It's not bad. It's just not my favorite thing ever. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the review. You have a good night or a good rest of your day, depending on what time it is when you're watching this.